Yep, you're still at the right place. There's no place like Chuck-A-Rama, and thanks for spending some time with us. Speaking of Chuck-A-Rama, some of you may wonder how we chose a name like Chuck-A-Rama. It's really very simple. The name Chuck-A-Rama has its origin from a combination of the Old West and a youth organization that has affected millions of its members and is as patriotic as a flag waving in the wind. While you're here, you might as well hear the story. This story begins in 1866 with a fellow by the name of Charles Goodnight. Goodnight was a former Texas Ranger and owned the first cattle ranch in the Texas Panhandle. In preparation to push 2,000 head of longhorn cattle from the Panhandle to Denver, Charles realized the long distance would necessitate a vehicle that would handle all of the food fixins and the victuals for the cowhands. They say that necessity is the mother of invention, so Goodnight bought a wagon from the government and reconstructed it into a portable kitchen with wheels. The thing that made this wagon unique was it had a working table that folded down from the back of the wagon. When in the upright position, it protected a number of small cubby holes filled with flour and salt and other supplies from falling out on the bumpy trail. Preparing a meal was easy. With the wagon stopped, the table was folded down. The table had one leg attached to it to support the weight placed on top of it. From there, you can imagine the rest on that eventful cattle drive. There's Cookie. Cookie's what they call the wagon chef. He had a heck of a time keeping the cowboys away from the meals he prepared. You can almost cut with a knife the aroma of strong black coffee as it floated through the air. Then came that wonderful whiff of beef, smoldering in the Dutch oven. And finally, the sourdough biscuits Cookie pinched off an hour earlier had risen in the Dutchie and were ready to put some fire to. Ah, the life of the American cowboy and the chuck wagon that was such a vital part of the cattle drives. Now I can hear you saying out there, okay, chuck wagon. You used chuck for the first part of Chuck-A-Rama. But how and where did you find the Rama part of the name? I'm glad you asked that question because there's an interesting answer that goes with it. From the beginning in 1966, Chuck-A-Rama has been a family-created and owned company. The originators liked the concept of a chuck wagon style meal, but that wasn't enough. They wanted a name that would indicate a top-notch chuck wagon meal. Two of the originators, Don Moss and Alva Green, were both involved in Boy Scouts. To them, the Boy Scout organization represented the best. Each year, the Boy Scouts hold an event called the Scout-O-Rama. The public is invited to attend, and its purpose is to showcase scouting and all the fun and functions of the organization. Now you're starting to see how this all fits together. Don Moss took an event that epitomized the Boy Scouts, the Scout-O-Rama, and combined it with the Old West symbol of good eating, the chuck wagon, and the name Chuck-A-Rama was born. The good name of Chuck-A-Rama has welcomed and gathered in people from all walks of life. Next time you drive by one of our buffets and see the name Chuck-A-Rama, you'll now know the real story behind the name. Enjoy your meal now and tell your friends about us. See you next time.